Have you ever wondered how to start programming? It might seem like a big daunting task, right? But let's cut through the haze. In our increasingly digital age, the art of programming has become an essential skill. It's the magic wand that animates our favorite websites, apps, video games, and even smart home devices. But don't let the word programming intimidate you. It's not just for tech wizards or math geniuses. Programming is a skill that anyone can learn, just like cooking or playing an instrument. It's a language of logic, a way to give instructions to a machine. And the best part? It's a skill that can open up a world of opportunities, whether you're looking to enhance your career, solve complex problems, or simply create something cool. So, are you ready to dive into the world of programming? Buckle up, as we're about to demystify the process of learning programming. Before we dive in, it's essential to understand what programming is and why it's important. At its core, programming is a means of communication. But instead of communicating with other people, we're communicating with computers. It's a way to give instructions to a machine to carry out tasks. Think of it as a cookbook. You, the chef, are giving instructions to your sous chef, the computer, to create a delicious meal, or in this case, a piece of software. The recipes are your code, and the ingredients are your data. Now, to communicate these instructions, we use programming languages. Just like human languages, there are many different programming languages, each with their own syntax and use cases. These languages are the tools we use to tell computers what we want them to do. Now that you know what programming is, it's time to pick a language to start with. With so many programming languages out there, choosing your first one can be a bit overwhelming. It's like being a kid in a candy store. So many colors, so many flavors, and you're there, wide-eyed, not sure where to start. But fear not, just like picking your favorite candy, choosing your first programming language is all about finding what works best for you. First up, let's consider industry demand. This is about what's hot in the market. If your goal is to land a job in a particular industry or company, it's wise to learn a language that's in high demand there. For instance, if you're aiming for a career in data science, Python or R would be a good bet. On the other hand, if web development is your thing, you might want to consider JavaScript or Ruby. Now on to difficulty level. Some languages are easier to pick up than others. For beginners, a language with a simple syntax like Python can be a great starting point. It's user-friendly and designed to be easy to read, which makes it a great choice for beginners. JavaScript, on the other hand, might be a bit more complex, but it's incredibly versatile and widely used in web development. But let's not forget about personal interest. This is about what you enjoy. If you're fascinated by creating mobile apps, you might find Swift or Kotlin interesting, as they're widely used for iOS and Android app development, respectively. Or if you're into game development, you might want to explore C#. When you're starting out, you might want to consider a beginner-friendly language like Python or JavaScript. They're both versatile, widely used, and have strong communities, which means you'll find lots of resources and help as you're learning. But here's the key takeaway: there's no perfect first language. It's like picking a favorite candy. There's no right or wrong choice, only what suits your taste, your goals, and your comfort level. So don't stress too much over it. Remember, there's no perfect first language. The important thing is to start somewhere. Now that you've chosen your first programming language, you need to find resources and tools to learn it. When it comes to learning resources, there's a vast array of options available at your fingertips. Online courses, for instance, provide a structured way of learning. Websites like Coursera, Udemy, and Khan Academy offer courses ranging from beginner to advanced levels. They often include video lectures, quizzes, and even hands-on projects to put your learning into practice. But perhaps you're someone who prefers a more immersive, intensive learning experience. If that's the case, coding boot camps might be the way to go. These boot camps are designed to take you from novice to competent coder in a matter of weeks. They're intense, yes, but they also offer comprehensive hands-on training that can be invaluable. Of course, some of you might find yourselves in the old-school camp, preferring the feel of a physical book in your hands. Good news, there's a wealth of programming books out there. From the classics like Clean Code by Robert C. Martin to more language-specific guides, books offer in-depth knowledge and can serve as a handy reference tool. And let's not forget about forums. Websites like Stack Overflow and GitHub are communities full of developers who are ready to lend a helping hand when you're stuck on a tricky piece of code. Now, onto the tools. To write and run your code, you'll need a code editor or an integrated development environment, also known as an IDE. Code editors like Sublime Text or Atom are great for beginners. They're lightweight, easy to use, and support a wide range of programming languages. On the other hand, if you're looking for something more robust, IDEs like Visual Studio Code or IntelliJ IDEA might be more your speed. These offer features like debugging tools, code suggestions and built-in terminals, making the coding process smoother and more efficient. Remember, learning is not a one-size-fits-all process. Explore all these resources and tools, find what works best for you, and don't be afraid to switch things up if something isn't working. Equip yourself with the right tools and resources and you're ready to start your programming journey. Learning to program is like learning to play an instrument. It requires lots of practice. Just like a musician spends hours perfecting their scales, a programmer must dedicate time to honing their skills. Whether you're learning to play the guitar or learning to code in Python, the key to mastery is the same. Practice, practice, practice. Let's talk about the importance of practice in programming. It's not enough to merely understand the syntax of a language or the theory behind algorithms. You need to apply what you've learned to write code, make mistakes, debug, and then write some more. And then do it all over again. It's through this process of trial and error that you'll really begin to understand how things work. Now you might be wondering, how do I practice programming? Well, there are a couple of approaches you can take. One way is to work on mini projects. These could be simple programs like a calculator or a to-do list app. These projects not only give you practical experience, but also help you understand how different parts of a program work together. Another way to practice is by solving coding problems on platforms like HackerRank or LeetCode. These platforms offer problems of varying difficulty from beginner to advanced. They are designed to test your understanding of algorithms and data structures, and they also help you get a taste of what coding interviews might be like. One thing to keep in mind is that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to get stuck. That's part of the learning process. When you encounter a problem you can't solve, don't get discouraged. Instead, take a step back, review your code, and try to understand where you're going wrong. Remember, every mistake is a learning opportunity. So, set aside dedicated time each day to practice. Make it a habit. The more you code, the more comfortable you'll become with it. And before you know it, you'll be creating complex programs with ease. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you code, the better you'll become. Programming can be challenging, and it's completely normal to get stuck at times. As you delve deeper into the world of coding, there will be instances where you hit a roadblock. But remember, every coder, no matter how experienced, has been there. It's crucial to understand that asking for help doesn't signify weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign of strength, a testament to your commitment to learning and improving. Platforms like Stack Overflow are treasure troves of knowledge, where millions of coders from around the globe share their expertise and insights. Similarly, joining programming communities can provide you with a supportive network of like-minded individuals. These communities are not just about troubleshooting, they're about sharing experiences, learning new approaches, and fostering a sense of belonging in the vast universe of coding. So the next time you find yourself wrestling with a tricky piece of code, remember, you're not alone. Don't let challenges discourage you. Instead, use them as opportunities to learn and grow. So, are you ready to embark on your programming journey? Let's take a moment to reflect on the important points we've discussed. We've understood that programming is the process of creating a set of instructions that tell a computer how to perform a task. It's a powerful tool for solving problems and creating innovative solutions. Choosing your first programming language is a crucial step. Don't get overwhelmed by the choices. Remember to consider your interests, the community support, and the potential applications of the language. We've discussed various learning resources and tools available. From online courses, books, and tutorials, to code editors and integrated development environments, there's a wealth of information at your fingertips. Practice is key. Get your hands dirty with code, experiment, and learn from your mistakes. And never hesitate to ask for help. The programming community is vast, and people are usually more than willing to lend a helping hand. Remember, learning to program is a marathon, not a sprint. Take your time, stay curious, and most importantly, enjoy the process.